Beautiful story there. All right, let's continue to this now. With the matric results now out, thousands of learners across the country face a pivotal decision about their futures. Many are weighing their options, whether to pursue further studies, enter the workforce, or explore alternative pathways. As the pressure mounts, we take a closer look at the opportunities and the challenges facing the class of 2024 and other options they can explore. To unpack this, we have roped in Dr. Phethiwe Matutu, Chief Executive Officer of Universities South Africa. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. So the class of 2024 faces what I would say tens of thousands before them faced the what next question post-matric. When you consider that our high institutions of learning do not have the capacity really to cater for the close to 700,000, I think, potential students, what should those who do not have confirmed placements this year do as they weigh their options? Ma'am, can you please unmute yourself? I think you've muted yourself.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much for having me, and good afternoon to you and the viewers of SABC News. It's a good thing that we have had the kind of success that we had with the learners. Congratulations to them and the parents, together with all the stakeholders who have made this success possible. We have more than 300,000, about 360 something, who have bachelor's passes. And within the universities, we have spaces for 206, just above that, 1,000. So there's a difference of about 100,000. So certainly they cannot all be absorbed within universities. We do have the private higher education institutions, which are registered with the Department of Higher Education and Training as private providers, as those are options for our students who have done well and who would like to still go to institutions of higher learning. And we do have the post-school education institutions, such as the TVET colleges and also the community colleges, where one can pick up a skill or two.
And do you think those alternative sources outside the tertiary institutions, the public tertiary institutions that will cater for that over 200,000, the capacity is enough from the private institutions that you've mentioned and also the TVET colleges? And also, what is the shortfall and what then are the options for those that do not meet all of those necessary avenues?
So looking at the shortfall is just above 100,000. Yeah. So looking at the available institutions in the country, some will take up at least quite a substantive amount. Should the students be keen to proceed with the training, because some students may consider other options. We do have the SETAs in our midst as well, where there's training for skills development within the 21 SETAs based on the sectors that a student may have an interest in.
The Department of Basic Education, especially the Director General, Matanzi Mamweli, echoed essentially the sentiments that were echoed by, or the statements made by the Minister, Phethiwe Matutu, raising concern about the decrease in the number of learners who take up accounting, physical science and mathematics. How does this problem manifest as learners enroll for further learning, or in fact when they consider to enter the job market?
The key issue here is that they are comparing what the country needs versus what the basic education is producing. That is a little bit different from looking at the available spaces within the higher education institutions. So I think they are looking at what our country needs insofar as critical skills and what the basic education is providing. So insofar as that is concerned, one has to have a holistic planning approach for the entire system.
And how do higher institutions of learning cope with that, that balance to have all of those subjects at, high school level that are needed really and are essential, to help within the workforce of, the country and what the country needs, especially as they explore avenues in higher education. For instance, if somebody has been doing maths and science, but does not necessarily get those marks that they need to enter those higher education spaces, where does that then lie in terms of a solution from higher institutions? How do they meet, the shortfall that we are seeing currently at basic education level?
So there's planning which occurs between the universities together with the Department of Higher Education and Training, where they look at the available resources and infrastructure, and on the basis of that decide on the ratios that should be there for, let's say, science, engineering, technology, qualifications, and so on. So those kind of plans are based largely on inputs and also knowing what the system will produce. So what we currently have is what has been planned through the enrollment planning exercise between the Department of Higher Education and Training and universities. So they may realize that perhaps the 33% of science, engineering, technology graduates that we are producing is inadequate for our system. Let's increase on that. And on the basis of that, they will add funding to ensure that we have adequate laboratories, we have adequate staff members, and the students which are being produced are adequately trained. So there may be extended programs for them. There may be whatever additional support, mentoring programs for them in order to ensure that they are up to speed as per required.
Dr. Matutu, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Dr. Phethiwe Matutu is the CEO of Universities South Africa.